Welcome to Legends in the Making, where we're redefining business success by aligning purpose, people, and profits. I'm your host, Erin Sarles Bowers, entrepreneur, shamanic practitioner, and founder of Ignite, Elevate, Ascend Consulting. In each episode, I will be sharing snackable insights that will inspire you to lead with clarity, power, and heart. We'll dive into actionable strategies, real world stories, and metaphysical teachings to help you unlock the infinite potential of your business, your people, and yourself. Are you ready to turn your business into a legend in the making? Let's dive in. And today we're going to talk about the evolution of leadership, why traditional methods are failing. And when I think about this topic, it really jazzes me up because I think when I think about traditional leadership methods that get rolled out or are tried, it's very what I would say the underlying fundamental principle that is being violated is the universal law of one that we're here to understand that we are every other person and every other person is us. And why I bring that law, universal law up is because in that law, it talks about how everything exists in relationship. And so are we looking at everything that we do in business as a relationship? As a relationship, if we're an organization, how are we in relationship with our employees? Do we create an environment that our employees feel valued and that we as the leaders of the organization are in service to them? And when most methods, traditional, it's kind of like a skill building. It's not personalized, like where is this individual at? It's just more tools of how to go do something. And we're not focusing on how are we being. And we're human beings. We're here to be. We're here to embody as a soul a frequency of which we then go act from. And from that energetic alignment, we then create connection. We create relationship. Everything that we do is built from that standpoint. So when I think about traditional leadership methods that oftentimes fail, it's because they're focused on teaching people another skill and not focused on how to activate those individuals to the highest level of being possible and creating environments that activate people's capabilities as a human being. You know, there's a lot of skills that I've been taught and learned in corporate America, but nobody was ever talking to me about who are you, Erin? You are your soul. You are here to actualize at the highest level, which means what's the state of being that you want to be in? Do you want to be at a frequency of peace, of love, of joy? Because those are not related with, let's go do this. You know, if you got people to understand who they are and what they are, and what's the frequency of which they want to be and vibe, you know, we're energy, so we're a vibration. What's that vibration you want to be? What's that vibration you want to be putting out into the world? And then how to understand that's the place that you then act from. You know, oftentimes we look at spiritual principles such as our soul and our state of being. What's the frequency we're wanting to put off? You know, there's different levels of consciousness, you know, that we're here to transcend and obtain as a human being. But we don't talk about that when it comes to business. we become very transactional in business. Like we become very like separated from whether it's our consumer, whether it's from our employees, and we're in a give and take relationship versus a giving and receiving relationship. We're actually just giving because that's the essence of who we are. We're not expecting anything back, but what we get back when we act from that place is the same thing that we just gave. So if we're giving incredible customer service because we love what we do and we're sharing that with the people that are coming in, and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel so amazing when I come in. They start telling their friends, they keep coming back in more. That's how legendary companies are built, because they built their company based on what they wanted to give, on the service, on the product that they were giving. Is it an amazing product? And can they give that to every person that walks through the door? And companies that have built that consistently and maintained it also had a paramount focus on the relationship of who that they were serving. In companies that understand that you're serving your employees and the employees then serve the customer. So if I have happy employees, I'm going to have happy customers. When I have unhappy employees, I'm going to have unhappy customers. But when we're building based on how much money can I make, what's in this for me, what's, my profit's going to be, ultimately that's pretty low vibe. So what you're going to get, you might make money, but you're going to have maybe a short run at it. Maybe you'll have some good years, you'll have some really bad years. There's no sustainability. You're not going to see year over year over year over year growth because you are chasing the wrong thing. And if you start from a frequency of, let's say, greed or, what's in this for me? Well, guess what? You're not going to receive back like abundance, because those two energies do not match. They don't match. They don't match at all. So you can't even achieve that because you're coming from the wrong standpoint. And so when I think of like the fundamental things that are missing in organizations today is understanding that the underlying energetic frequency that you're making decisions from is the most important. When we talk about root causes, the root cause is, where are people at? Where are people at energetically? Are people happy? If you have a happier team, you're going to have happier results. You're going to be more profitable. When you have people that are highly engaged and feel empowered and are seen and valued and want to contribute and are connected with your purpose, what are you going to see? Increased profits. Oftentimes, when doing root cause analysis, we never get back to the human emotion, the human frequency that's driving that bus, whether it's in one location, in a bigger, multi-unit situation, on and on and on, kind of up the chain. But the tone you set as the leader, as far as how you actively engage your team, is so utterly important, and what is ultimately missing. Most traditional methods are focused on tactics of what to do. But if those tactics don't align with me as a human being, of how I authentically operate within the world, and teaching people to operate from their authenticity, of when you're operating from your authenticity, you can have courageous conversations. You can have conversations because you know who you are and you see every other person as they are you. So when I'm interacting with somebody, they're not separate from me, they are me. So we're now in relationship with each other because I am them and they are me. So when I'm talking to them, I can see them and engage with them as the way I would want to be seen and engaged with. And I think a lot of time leadership trainings and tactics remove that interpersonal relationship understanding that we need to have as a leader. That universal truth of I am you and you are me. I am here to treat my neighbor as I treat myself. I'm here to do no harm to any other human being. There's just one collective energy here, and I'm a fractal or a piece of that. And so, how do I show up and increase the vibe of that? I do that by seeing every other person as they are me. And so, when you don't align with these immutable laws, the universe is governed by laws that we don't get to choose or change. They just are in place. They're just the way the universe works. I know on previous episodes, I've talked about the law of reciprocity. What you give is what you receive. What you reap is what you sow. So whatever you're putting out is what you're getting back. So truly, organizations' understanding of how do you start to integrate those things into then the actions that you go take is ultimately what's missing in business today. And it's costing organizations a tremendous amount of money because they'll invest into, let's say, a retreat, or we're going to teach everybody about how to increase human effectiveness, or we're going to talk about situational leadership, or whatever those things are. But what they've forgotten about is how do you grow people and see them, and how does this integrate with who they are to then expand them out as just other skills that they have, versus like, here's a new tool, go put this into play and this is going to get us results. Well, the reality is like, until you get the energetic alignment with your people and who they are and what they're here to do within your organization, are they motivated? Are they inspired by your purpose? Do they feel so aligned with what they're supposed to do as far as the vision, the values, like that? They embody those things and they believe in those things, because that becomes a state of being. And then you just act from that state of being. You're not then worried about the tactics. You have alignment. You have alignment from the inside out. So getting people grounded into that alignment. When you're off track, coming back to those whys, what's getting in the place of those things that's not then going forth and driving the results that ultimately you should be getting. Because if, like I said, if you lay the foundation of, you have an incredible product, you have an incredible systems and processes in place, you have an incredible culture to engage people in that's when you're going to have tremendous success. So what people are lacking is the underlying energetic alignment that needs to come into place in order to fully embody and execute all the actions and tactics that ultimately deliver results. But you have to be aligned first. You have to be in a state of service and what you love to do, because then you go act effortlessly. You also go create effortlessly. You come up with more ideas effortlessly. It just becomes an expansion, a continuous expansion out of more and more and more and more and more, because you're unlocking and you're aligning and you're bringing people into a higher vibrational state, and they then give They give. And then when you're in a giving state, you then start to receive. So the evolution in leadership has to come into this understanding of what are the laws that govern the universe and how do we bring those into business? Because we don't get to ditch those at the door and go, well, in business, this is what we do. Well, if you've seen it, there's no business that's been around since the beginning of time. So if we maybe followed the laws that govern our universe, maybe there would be businesses that are around for 150, 250, 350 years from now, because they are energetically aligned and matching how the universe works. And then they're using that to engage their employees to go fulfill that mission. And so that's why I am so impassioned to bring shamanism, the principles of understanding that everything's interconnected. We have universal laws that are governing us, whether it's the law of reciprocity, the law of one, the law of cause and effect, the law of rhythms. All of these things that we see out in Mother Nature are also then impacting us as individuals and us as businesses. And so marrying those two together are the hidden secret to really stepping into the full potential of what your organization is designed to be. And how cool is that? To think about, like, what if I focused on the energetics and the alignment of my team and got people fully engaged in how they become the highest and greatest version of themselves? And we create environments where all our leaders do is focus on how to activate people to their highest potential. Because when people are activated to their highest potential, they are then giving, and you as an organization are receiving, and you're taking good care of each other. It's just synergistic. It just becomes a norm. We talk about the word surrender. It's like you can start to surrender and trust the alignment, because everybody is just doing what they are called to be doing through their state of who they are. So if you want to do a major reset with your leadership team, let's talk about bringing this transformation to your company. DM me aligned. Let's get a conversation started of how can we get to the root cause and really transform and transcend and get off the hamster wheel of all the traditional broke down methods and really step into, this is how business is always supposed to have been done. We're aligning to that, and we're going to unlock the magic that is designed for us. So I can't thank you enough for tuning into Legends in the Making. If today's episode inspired you, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. And don't forget to share this podcast with other leaders, visionaries, and change makers who are ready to elevate their business, align their purpose, and ignite their own legendary journey. If you're ready to the next step, head to our website, Ignite, Elevate, Ascend Consulting, or follow us on social media for more tools, resources, and I would love to connect with you. Remember, DM me aligned. Let's get a conversation. Let's get your company on track through a radical transformation to get you moving in the direction that you want to be going. So until next time, remember, legends aren't born, they're built. Keep leading with purpose, aligning with your vision, and always ignite the legend within you.